Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial I will make the polo t-shirt. I know that you were waiting for this tutorial for a long time ago, so I'm happy that I can finally share with you how we can make this timeless look t-shirt. So let's get started. For this t-shirt I'm using yarn that I recycle from a different project, from an old project that I wasn't wearing it that much. It is called Katia Tencel Cotton. I think it's a sport weight yarn even if it's listed as DK. And we will be using a 3.5mm crochet hook. We will start by working the top back panel, and we are starting from the neckline. So I will be writing down here on the screen the stitches for all the sizes, but of course please check your gauge before beginning and following the same number of stitches as I do. I am making size small, so I will start with 41 stitches for the neckline width. If you want to adjust the number of stitches according with the width that you would like to have for your neckline, then please feel free to do so. I will try to explain as better as possible to be able to adjust this pattern according with your needs. What we are doing now, after chaining the number of stitches for the neckline, we will increase at both ends because this design has shaped shoulders for the back, and we will increase at both ends until we will reach the desired width of our bust. So we will be working in half double crochet, and the increases will be made 1 stitch at each end for one row, and then 2 stitches on the other row. I'm starting with stucked single crochet, which are 2 single crochet, one on top of each other as a first stitch, and this will count as a first half double crochet. Then we will work one more half double crochet into the same stitch. This will be the increase at the beginning of the row. If you want, you can work the increases into the second stitch, not into the first one, if you want to keep your stitch at the edge as single. And then we will continue to work one half double crochet until we have 2 stitches left. I will increase into the second to the last stitch, so working 2 half double crochet into that stitch, and finish the row with 1 half double crochet into the last stitch. Now I will turn because I will work the same stuck single crochet stitch, so 2 single crochet, one on top of the other, and then we will have a double increase. So I'm doing another half double crochet into the same first stitch, and then into the second one I will do again 2 half double crochet. So on even rows we will have a double increase. Now we will continue with 1 half double crochet until we have 3 stitches left, and at the end of the row we will increase again. So on one row we will increase with 2 stitches per row, meaning 1 at the beginning, 1 at the end of the row. And on the next row we will have a double increase, and we will increase with 2 stitches, 2 at the end and 2 at the beginning. Now into the next 2 stitches I will work 2 half double crochet, and we will finish the row with 1 half double crochet into the last stitch. And we will repeat these 2 rows. I will do it for 18 rows in total. Or you can continue and alternate these 2 rows until you reach the desired bust width. Okay, I finished my 18 rows. Don't worry if your edges are a bit awkward right now and you don't have a straight edge. We will fix this with blocking, and as soon as we add a little bit of more weight to the back panel, it will get better. Now, I do recommend to put stitch markers and mark the last row with increases. This will be really helpful when we will be working the shoulder edges, because we will know exactly how many side rows we will need to work our stitches for the shoulder edge. Now I will give you right away the number of stitches that you will have after completing this section. So for my size, I will have 95 stitches, depending on the size and how many increase rows you did. Then of course that you will have a different number of stitches. Now we will continue to work straight without making those increases at the beginning and at the end of the row. And this section can be adjusted as well. I will be working 16 more rows to complete the armhole depth. The idea is that the armhole depth needs to be a little bit longer, because when with this shaped shoulders, in the end the armhole will be smaller than it appears right now from the neckline. So I will be working 16 rows. If you feel like you need more rows, or don't worry if it's too big. For example, my armhole measures 17 centimeters and I worked in total 24. So it was with 7 centimeters more than my actual measurements. The number of rows for this section will be the same for all the sizes. So we will be working 16 rows to finish the top back panel. Now I finished the top back panel, the 16 rows, and as I said, now it's measuring 23 centimeters, the piece that I have. And I will stop here, and now we can cut the yarn, because we will continue now with the front panels, and then we will join at the armpit and continue working on the length of our t-shirt. We will start working on the left front panel, and now it's time to decide which side you want to be the right side. And into the side rows we will work 3 stitches in every 2 side rows. So you have that small loop that is in between the rows, or small stitch that you can see in between the rows. We will be working in that one as well. So one more time, the pattern for this side edge will be 3 stitches into every 2 side rows. And we will start working the shoulder edges first, so we are not beginning with the front panels yet. And we will be working in single crochet for this first row. And at the end of this row, you will need to have the same number of stitches that you increase with on each side. So I will have 27 stitches, because this is the number of stitches that I increased at each end. Depending on your size that you are making and the number of rows that you worked for the shoulder with the increases, you will have, so I had 18 rows in total, divided by 2 is 9, and multiplied by 3 stitches on every 2 side rows. This will give me 27 stitches or 27 single crochet that I will need to have after finishing this first row. And as I said, we will try to work as neat as possible and working 3 stitches, 3 single crochet into each 2 side rows. Try to insert the hook through that side stitch that you have. This will assure that you will have a nice and neat edge after working this first row. Now, after finishing this first row, this is where the stitch marker is important, because we now have the stitch marker that is marking our last increase row, and we know that we need to stop with our shoulder edge row in that side row. So these are my last stitches over here, and I finished this first row in single crochet. Now I'm counting again the number of rows to make sure that my stitch marker was placed correctly. And now we will chain 1 and turn. And to create that nice ribbed edging, we will be working back post single crochets on the second row. So just working back post single crochets around each single crochet that we have in a row, except the last one, because after making the last around the last stitch, we will need to work 1 more single crochet into that last stitch. So here is the last back post, and try not to stop here because you will need an extra stitch to keep the same number of stitches. And now we will repeat these 2 rows 2 more times. But of course, if you want this shoulder edge to be not that wide, you can stop even sooner. Now we are starting with the front panel, basically. So we will begin to work in half double crochet stitches, and we will work 1 half double crochet in each stitch to the end of the row for the next 6 rows. So we will be working in half double crochet, and to create that edge of the collar, we won't increase or decrease at this point. We are working simply 1 half double crochet into each stitch to the end of the row. Now, after completing these 6 rows, we will have to add the number of stitches that we need for the front panel, but we will let 6 stitches for the polo collar edge or neckline edge. And for my size, I will have to chain 17 stitches right at the end of the row 6. If you want to calculate the number of stitches that you will need to add, you need from the neckline stitches that you chain at the beginning, you need to subtract the shoulder stitches minus 6, yeah, because we let 6 stitches for the edges, and minus 6, and I think is divided by 2, so 41 minus 6 divided by 2, I will have 17 stitches to add. And now we will continue to work straight without doing any adjustments until we reach the neckline depth that we want. This you can play with it as well. If you want a deeper polo neckline, then you can work more rows. So I will continue to work until I will have 28 rows, counting from the shoulder edge for this front panel, left front panel. Of course, these numbers are valid for all the sizes, but if you want to adjust the depth of the neckline, you can work as many rows as you want. After finishing 28 rows, I will cut the yarn and we will go to the right front panel, because we need to work the right front panel as well, and then we will join both parts and continue to work and finish the length of the front panel. The right front panel is the same as the left front panel, only that it will be in the mirror. So now we will start from the last increase row, and that's why it's important to put that stitch marker into that last row. And again, we need to work on the right side, and we will be working 3 single crochet stitches in every 2 side rows. And the only thing that is different than the left front panel is that we are starting on the other at the other end of the shoulder. So we are starting on the bottom of the shoulder and going up to the neckline. The rest, it will be the same. We will work the same 6 rows, 1 row in single crochet and 1 row in back post single crochet, the same as we did for the left front panel. After finishing all 6 rows for the shoulder edge, we will begin to work in half double crochet stitches, and we will work the first 6 rows of the front panel without making any adjustments to the number of the stitches. Only work 1 half double crochet stitch into each stitch for the next 6 rows. After completing the first 6 rows, we will need to add those extra stitches, 17 stitches, the same as we did on the left front panel, but this time we will be adding those stitches at the end of row 7. And to make sure that both front panels are at the same level at the neckline, we will add the stitches as foundation half double crochet. So I will be showing you right away how to add to work this foundation half double crochet. But first, let's just work 1 half double crochet into each stitch to the end of the row, and then we will work 17, or depending on your size, you can count the stitches that you worked on the left front panel. This will be the same number of stitches, only that this time at the end of row 7 we will add foundation half double crochet stitches. Okay, we are now at the end of the row, and we will yarn over and insert the hook into the side of that last stitch. Yarn over and pull out a loop, then yarn over and pull it through only the first loop, yarn over and pull it through all 3. Now yarn over and we will insert the hook into the bottom of that stitch that we just made. Pull out a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through all 3. Let's do it one more time. So this is the V at the bottom of the stitch, and we need to insert the hook over there through that V. Yarn over, pull out a loop, yarn over, pull it through only the first loop, yarn over, pull it through all 3. And we will be repeating the steps until we add 17 stitches. And after having the number of stitches added, now we will continue and work half double crochet rows until we will have 28 rows in total. Or if you adjusted already the number of rows for the left front panel, then you will need to work the same number of rows as for the left front panel. We finished with the right front panel, and now it's time to join these two over here in the middle. I have 6 rows, more rows to work to complete the same length as the top back panel. Depending on the size that you are making, you most probably will have a different number of rows. Please check the pattern for that, or simply count the number of rows that you worked for the back panel, and you will need to work and need to have the same number of rows for the front panel. Now we will turn the right front panel and work half double crochet stitches to the end. And now to join both front panels, I will be working also foundation half double crochet stitches. You can also chain if you want, but this will deepen, if you chain, will deepen a little bit more with one row the neckline. And if you don't want that, then you can go and work 6 foundation half double crochet, the same way as we did when we expand the right front panel. Okay. I have 6 stitches to work over here, depending if you decided on a different width for your neckline ribbing, then because we will need to fill this space with the ribbing. So if you decided to a different number of stitches, then you will need to add that number of stitches. After I finish and wear the 6 foundation half double crochet, I'll go right into the first stitch of the left front panel and continue working to the end of the row, foundation half double crochet stitches, sorry. I will try to join like this stitch, the last foundation half double crochet, because otherwise I will have a space over there, but it's not a problem because we can fix that with when weaving in the end. But this is a small trick to just have avoid having that gap over there. So now let's just continue with half double crochet stitches to the end of the row, and then I will have 5 more rows to complete the length of the front panel. After finishing the length of the front panel, remember that you will need to have the same number of rows as the back panel. I'm measuring the width, and if I want to add a few extra centimeters to the width of my my t-shirt, then you can measure. Of course, I do recommend to have the gauge from the beginning. So I want to add about 2 centimeters, and this will be with 6 stitches. So at the armpit, when joining the front and back panel, I will add 6 more stitches to get to the desired width or desired circumference that I wish for the for my t-shirt. Now after the last row, we will turn as usual, and we will work the stitches for the front panel, so all the stitches to the last one. So 1/2 double crochet in each stitch to the end. After finishing with the front panel stitches, I will chain 4. I decided on 4 stitches to have at each armpit. I already calculated for each size how many stitches to add for the armpit, but of course that you can adjust that. I just calculate the stitches in order to keep the same positive ease for each sizes. But if you want to adjust the armpit stitches, then feel free to add as many stitches as you wish, or you can skip the armpit stitches as well. It can be done like this. And now we will continue with the back panel stitches. And at the end of the back panel, we will need to chain 4 again, and then join with the first half double crochet of the front panel. So I will chain again 4 and slip stitch into the first stitch. Now, in order to keep the same appearance of the stitch, we will work in the round, but we will need to turn after each row. If you are a beginner, I really recommend to mark that first stitch all the time, because this will make it easier, or the last stitch, because this will make it easier to know in which stitch you will need to start your row. And starting from now, we will just continue and work in the round, turning after each round for as many rows as you wish, or until you will get to the desired length. I worked in total 30 rounds for the body, and I'm keeping this number for all the sizes in my pattern, but if you want to adjust the length, please feel free and work as many rows as you wish. After we will complete with the length, we will finish the bottom hem with a ribbing, similar with the shoulder seam, with the shoulders detail. But because I cannot continue working without having the neckline and sleeves and all tied up together, so I will prefer to work these details first and then continue with the length. So the first thing that we will be working is the neckline ribbing. And we want to make sure that we are working on the right side, and we will work the same 6 rows, 1 in single crochet, 1 in back bow single crochet. Because we are working into the side rows, we will keep the same proportion, working 3 single crochet in every 2 side rows, and we will work the 6 rows that you already are used to from the shoulders. After finishing all 6 rows, we will cut the yarn, and we will do the same thing on the other side. Now, when working on the other side, our rows are ending on this edge over here that needs to be joined together, so the both ribbings with the space that we have in between the front panels. So if you would like to join with a slip stitch at the end of each right side row, you can do so. If this is too difficult, you can go and sew everything together, use the yarn needle to join these pieces together over there. So now I will begin with the same pattern, working 6 rows, 1 row in single crochet and 1 row in back post single crochet, and I will show you at the end of the row how you can join and connect this row with that edge that we have from the t-shirt. So here we are at the end of the row. I do have 1 more single crochet, and then to join and connect this row with this edge, you can slip stitch. So work 1 slip stitch into the next 2 stitches of that t-shirt edge, that space that will let to accommodate this ribbing. And then you simply turn, you skip those 2 slip stitches and work the back post single crochet stitches row. And you will do the same thing on every single crochet row only. Or if you don't feel comfortable to work those slip stitches, you can stitch everything together after finishing with this side of the ribbing. Okay, after finishing this side of the ribbing as well, so I decided to join and connect every single crochet row with that edge. Now we will cut the yarn, and we will use the needle to join this together. So I will place this on the wrong side, on top of the other ribbing or the other edge, and then I will use the needle and stitch this together. So everything remains and stays connected. I'm looking carefully not to put the needle to try and begin my sewing into the corresponding stitch. And with the needle, we will join everything together. Now that everything is stitched together, we can continue with the next step of our t-shirt, and the next step will be the collar. So I will turn this one on the right side, and we will begin to work the collar. So for the polo collar, I will work first 6 rows into the same pattern that we used for all the edges. And this is not mandatory, but I wanted to keep a symmetry between all the stuff that and all the details of this t-shirt. And I will start with the first row, but from the second side row, we will keep the first and the last side row of the neckline ribbing without working into them, because at the end, after finishing the entire collar, I will add 2 more rows as an edge that will be also into the side rows of the collar, and I want to have space to accommodate that 2 rows and be at the same level as the neckline ribbing. So now the first row will be 1 single crochet into every stitch. Into the single crochet side rows of the neckline ribbing and also the side rows of the shoulder seam, we will be working 1 single crochet into each side rows, and into the half double crochet side rows we will keep the same proportion with 3 half double crochet into every 2 rows. And after finishing with the single crochet row, I will stop and end this row when I have 1 more side row left. So I'm leaving that unworked. And now we will continue and work the rest of the rows. So back post, single crochet, back post, single crochet, back post. So 6 rows in total, same as all the others ribbings. Okay, now I finished the first 6 rows, and now we will continue to work in half double crochet stitches. And I worked in total 6 rows in half double crochet, but depending on how wide you want that color to be, of course, that you can adjust the number of rows. And for these rows, we will work only half double crochet stitches. You can change the stitch if you want. For this polo collar, you can work in single crochet, but I prefer to use the same half double crochet stitches as the rest of the t-shirt because it was faster. And also I was using for the half double crochet stitches a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook to give me a nice and neater structure of the collar. Now after finishing the 6 rows, we will cut the yarn and we will work those 2 rows that I said when beginning to start on this collar. But these 2 rows will be into the side rows of the collar as well. So, and we will need to start working on the wrong side, because when the collar will be folded, we want to see a neat and nice edge. So now we will be using that side row that we let without working in it, and we will rejoin yarn into that side row. And I will chain 1 just to secure this yarn, and then begin and work right into the first stitch. The first stitch will be the side row of that first 6 rows that we worked into that ribbing pattern. We will work here 1 single crochet into each side row, and into the half double crochet stitches side rows we will work the same 3 single crochet at every 2 side rows. And for this edge we will work 1 row in single crochet and 1 row in back post single crochet, and I'm using the same 3 millimeter crochet hook size. So I size down for the collar with 1 size of my crochet hook. This is again not mandatory, it's just my personal choice, but I find it easier to work with a smaller hook into all those details of the collar. So now I will be working into the side rows of the collar, and I need to pay attention because into the corner, when I will finish with these side rows, I will need to work 3 single crochet to turn and make that corner, but only on the single crochet row. On the back post single crochet row, we won't do any increase into the corners. We will work only one back post single crochet in every stitch. Okay, so let's get to that corner. Okay, so on this last stitch we will work 3 single crochet to turn on the other side of the collar, and we will do the same into the next corner. Now let's just keep working single crochet stitches to the end of the row, and then I will show you how to finish this row and connect the row with that side row that we let without working in it any stitch. Okay, so we almost finished this first row. I have here the last single crochet, and then I will join with a slip stitch. I will go with a slip stitch into that side row, unworked side row that we let without working any stitch into it when beginning working on this panel. And now we will continue and turn and work one more row into back post single crochet stitches, and with that row we will finish working on the color of this t-shirt. When we finish the second row of this edging, we are simply going with a slip stitch into the same side row. Yeah, this will end up and even everything up, and this will be the finish of the collar. After finishing with the collar, I will go further and work the sleeves edging. We will be working the same 6 rows as we did in all the details that we have on this t-shirt. I will be using the same 3mm crochet hook. We will rejoin the yarn at the armpit. And when we are working into the half double crochet side rows, we will work 3 stitches at every 2 side rows, and into the shoulder edge we will work 1 single crochet in every side row, and we will continue and work 1 single crochet row, 1 back post single crochet row. We will join with a slip stitch after every row. This is how we will close the round, but we will turn after each round because otherwise the front post single crochet stitches won't look the same. I tried with front post single crochet stitches instead of back post single crochet stitches, but it's not looking the same. So I do recommend to turn after each single crochet, after each row. And of course we will work the same 6 rows as we did with the other detailed edges that we worked for this t-shirt. After finishing both sleeves and also I finished the length, it's time to work the bottom hem ribbing. The same 6 rounds that we did with all the edges. This time will be the same as for the sleeves, only that I'm using the 3.5mm crochet hook. So I will make sure that my last round of the length is on the wrong side, so I can start this bottom hem ribbing on the right side. And we will begin with 1 round in a single crochet, then back post single crochet on the next round, and we will repeat these 2 rounds 2 more times until we have in total 6 rounds. If you prefer to work other type of ribbing or finishing or edging or border, feel free to do so. I will just work the same pattern that I did for all the other edges, and all began from the shoulder edges, because this was when everything started with this single crochet and back single crochet details. So now I will continue to work this bottom hem ribbing. After that, the t-shirt is done. We just need to weave in all the ends, and yeah, then we'll be finished. After finishing everything, I washed the t-shirt and lay it on a blocking mat. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye!